Hello, everyone. It is Jen, and I am coming to you today to talk about after a long car ride, what do you do? Your body's all sore, you're not feeling maybe your best, and you got to fix it, right? So that's what we're going to talk about today. Thank you for joining me. My name is Jen Tarrant, and I'm a yoga therapist. And today we're talking about how to get your body feeling better after you have been in the car. Maybe it's been a long road trip or something like that. And you just got to, get feeling better so that you can rest and have a good night's sleep and all of that stuff after traveling. So a few things to do. Of course, you get up, maybe one of the first things you feel like is a big stretch, reaching arms overhead and reaching one hand and then the other toward the sky. Sometimes we think about doing a side bend and we put our hands together and bend really far this way. It really is more effective to keep that motion in an upward fashion. So lifting up as we stretch and move the body and let those sides stretch out. In the middle of that, we've probably noticed that our shoulders would like a little bit of work too. So some shoulder rolls up and back and down is going to feel a lot better than rolling forward, simply because when we're sitting in the car, we tend to sort of slump forward. And so opening it up, reaching those shoulders back and down is going to be an excellent way to open up those muscles that can get tight in the chest, to get the shoulder blades moving around after being sort of still and stagnant for a while. And so we're going to get that body moving in the upper part of the body too. All right, so now letting that relax down. Probably we also have not done a whole lot of twisting motion on that long car ride. This would also apply to an airplane trip. And so a little side to side, and this does not have to be a big, robust twist. You may notice I'm even kind of taking my hips with me here. I'm not keeping them fixed and turning aggressively. I'm just letting my body move side to side. My hips are moving a little. My spine is moving and twisting around. And this is going to be great. If you were sitting in a seat and you were kind of turned towards the person you were talking to, you may want to do like a little bit of just middle to the side of the opposite direction. Let your body kind of work that out and then come back to this flowing, gentle, easy motion from side to side. All right. As we come back to the middle now, I'd like to do a little bit of moving into some back bend sensation. A lot of times we do a cat-cow where we round forward and then extend back. But because, as I mentioned, we probably already had a little bit of forward motion, why not take it from a neutral spine into that back bend and then relaxing and into that back bend. So this one you can do sitting on the floor with hands on your knees. You could do it on hands and knees, or you could do it standing by simply placing hands on the legs and go from this neutral spine and then feel the heart and head lift up and then relax to neutral, heart and head lifting up and relaxing to neutral. And we could do this one quite a few times. Our back may really appreciate this big, well, it feels big, it doesn't look very big, movement into that extension to work out any of that tiredness from hunching or relaxing forward. And then come back to neutral and let's stand it up. Another thing that can happen for those long periods of sitting is the hip flexors can get pretty tight and they may not feel great because they've been bent for so long. So what I'd like to do next is a pendulum. And if you like, you can put your hand on a chair here so you have to worry less about the balance. Or I don't know, maybe you want the challenge of the balance, but you could put your hand on a chair or just simply leave arms by the sides. And we're just going to swing that leg forward and back. and let the leg hang out of the hip joint. And we're just bringing some movement, a little bit of warmth into the hip there. And it's okay if you have to touch the toes down like I just did. Let the leg just move around a little. It may even feel nice to take this motion a little bigger, maybe not as much of a pendulum, but lift it up and take it around in a big circle. And so this can get a little deeper into some of those rotating muscles of the hips that go into the back of the hips, etc. And you could do a few of those as well. Of course, we have to keep it even, so we'll do that on the other side as well. Some pendulum swings. Really let the leg relax and sort of hang there in the hip. Let there be some fluidity to the movement. Let it feel easy as the leg moves back and forth. And then the same thing here, if you'd like, taking that knee up and circling the leg around, lifting it up and circling it around. Really let the hip kind of reach into those places that may feel a little bit tight. All right, now then, depending on how long you had to sit, that may not be quite enough for these hip flexors. They may want a little bit more. Maybe they need a little bit more intention behind the movements to create that sensation of being able to really relax. And so for this one, I like bringing one foot behind, and we'll just keep that leg straight and lift the toes right off of the floor and put them down. And you'll notice a little stretch here and some activation back here in the glutes. And this is going to go a little deeper into relaxing the hip flexors. One thing we want to watch out for here is not pitching the whole body forward as we move. We'll keep our body nice and tall. These lifts do not have to be big. They can even be just hover it off the floor a little bit. Whatever works in your body after you get done with that travel. And then of course we'll do the other side, legs straight behind and some gentle lifts. Feel that stretch there. Feel the action in the glutes and check to see if the body's not pitching forward or rounding forward. Just that nice light lift, and that should help quite a bit in releasing out some of that tension. Something else we can do here that'll really get into the muscles all the way around that support into the leg connection to the hips and a little bit in the core area and the low back is some hip circles. So we'll just have an easy stance here, and we can start off by shifting side to side in the hips. This is just with a little knee bend, where you could actually circle the hips all the way around. And I would suggest doing a few of these each direction. So after that direction feels like it's worked its way out, maybe going the other way. And then coming back to that knee bend, letting the hips just move a little bit side to side. All right, now then, another place where we can experience some tightness and some fatigue is in the neck and shoulder area, right? We don't even have to go on a car ride for that to happen. So this area here can get really tired, especially if you're the one doing the driving, having to look forward, not as much movement side to side. So we already did our shoulder rolls. Those are going to help quite a bit. If it feels really tight, particularly right here on either side of the neck, I'd like to actually hunch the shoulders all the way up and feel the shoulder blades squeezing in and up so that it kind of leans into the fatigue. I know it seems kind of counterintuitive, and hold it there for a little bit, and then very slowly let the body relax, and even say maybe to yourself, relax, 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 and feel that space lengthening right here. Another one that works really well is a simple turn from side to side. And then if you would like, holding on one side, really focusing on the shoulders releasing down the back to create as much room as possible for this turn. And holding it there for 3, 4, 5 breaths maybe. And then through the center and over to the other side. Same thing here. Shoulders really releasing away. And feeling 3 or 4 or 5 breaths happen as we let this side of the neck relax and release. And then back to the center. Another great one for the neck, particularly stretching out these muscles in the back of the neck, is a simple chin to chest. And so as we bring our chin toward our chest, we may find that our head wants to push forward and hang forward rather than keeping our posture tall and tucking our chin straight in. So as best we can, let's have shoulders over our ears and simply draw our chin downward. And then with each exhale, you may find that the back of the neck relaxes a little bit more. And relaxes a little bit more, letting that chin tuck feel a little bit more intense in a good way. And then if we'd like, we can take that stretch a little deeper into these muscles that run along either side of the upper spine by taking our head gently, a little tick-tock side to side here. All right, then back to the center and bringing it back up to a neutral position with our head. Okay, so we worked out a little bit in the neck and the shoulders. We get some side stretches in and some twists, mobility for the spine, or standing cat, cow, or really just neutral to cow. And then the pendulum swings with the leg, as well as the circles with the hip. These are going to be some great ways to work out some of that tightness, some of that stiffness from travel. I hope you love it. I'd love to hear from you in the comments below which one of these that you think you will use after your next car trip. All right, that is it for today. Thank you so much for joining me. And until next time, bye for now.